segment. If you're new to the channel, I'm Martha. Thank you very much for viewing. Do not forget to subscribe, and I want to personally welcome you to the family. If you're not new, thank you very much for showing our channel so much love. Today in studio I have two guests, and as we do it always, guys first.
Hi guys, my name is Nakale and Ndelipewa. I'm a nursing student and I school at Belvedere Nursing School.
Hi guys, I'm Ndelipewa and I'm a law student at UNAM main campus.
Thank you guys for coming. I'm really happy to have you. They are here in studio to help us unfold, to help us unpack the topic of failure. So, I feel that society speaks so much on success, how to become successful and the importance, yet they do not speak so much on failure, and I feel that whenever we are faced with failure, we are not so prepared. So Ndeli, how would you define failure from your own personal perspective or from your own personal experiences?
Okay, well, failure. Failure can be defined in a lot of terms. One can also say failure is the lack of success, or it's the omission of an expected required action. Like, obviously when you expected to do a certain thing and then you fail to do that, so then that can be defined as failure.
Okay. And how would you put it? It can also be an Oxford definition if you want to say so.
So failure for me personally is not being able to achieve a goal you want, or not being able to reach a standard that you wanted to reach or that you saw yourself trying to reach.
And I want it to be clear, guys, failure is not always in academics. It can be in work, it can be in relationships. And if you think that you have a better definition of failure, hit that comment. Tell me about it. I want to hear how you define failure. So, what is this? Do you think that it is important for one to endure failure in life?
Well, no one plans to fail. But then the lessons we get from that, that's what actually grows us. So I can't really say it's something that needs to be done, but then once it happens, then you should be ready for it. Be ready to plan and progress, and then just try and change whatever you think was wrong, and try and realize or try and ask yourself what went wrong, what actually did I do wrong, and then try and solve those problems in order to kind of succeed again.
Because at the end of the day, failure is inevitable.
Exactly.
What's your take on that, Juso?
For me, failure, I don't look at failure as something down or something bad. For me, it's a step in the right way to success. It highlights what you did wrong and what you did right. It helps you cut out the flaws in whatever you want to do and helps you go forward and progress. Because for me, failure is something very needed in life, because you develop or you adapt better to situations after you have known the bad things about them through failure.
Okay, so I think from the take of Juso, you would say that it's important to fail? It's
needed. It's needed, not important, because try and avoid failure, but then when you fail, please own up to your mistakes and do the most with it.
Okay. So as a youth, most of the time we do not really succeed at things we are doing. Why do you think it's so?
For most people, it's like this. You see or you have people that are older than you, or that even are your peers, they fail. Most people fail to acknowledge or to see the flaws in other people and actually learn from their mistakes. So you follow this person and you still make the same mistakes, and it leaves you with two people with the same mistakes. So I feel like the youth or people in life should try and learn from the mistakes of others and also the mistakes of themselves, and also try and help people who are going through the same mistakes to avoid just the whole failure process.
Okay. What's your take on that, Ndeli?
Okay, well, I think sometimes it's lack of persistence. Like, in most cases, a lot of people give up way too easily. Like, they don't like trying out. Once you fail for the first time, then you feel like, no man, I can no longer do this. But then again, one thing that we should bear in mind is that always try and plan your things. Like, have a desire, plan it, begin it, progress it in order to achieve it. It's never an easy thing. It has a lot of sacrifices, it has a lot of things that you actually need to give up and so forth, but try and push harder, man.
Okay, so if I am a viewer and I'm watching right now and maybe I just failed at something, what advice would you have for me to help me bounce back?
Number one, first of all, own up to your mistakes.
They're even in numbers.
Number one, own up to your mistakes. Don't blame anybody else. And if somebody is to blame for your mistakes, it's a lesson learned not to follow this person or not to entrust this person with whatever you entrusted them for you to fail. So I feel like you should always own up to your mistakes. And secondly, always have a positive attitude towards failure. View it as a step of growth rather than a bump in the road. So always strive to think about your mistakes thoroughly and don't be too concentrated on the failure, but be concentrated on the lesson learned through the failure. Yeah.
Okay, so now, if you are watching and you feel that you also have tips to give, leave them in the comment below. And if you like about what we're talking so far, give the video a thumbs up. So Ndeli, do you have any tips for them as well? If I just failed now and I just want to bounce back and get on that track, get on the road, get back on my feet.
Well, one thing that we should bear in mind is that never ever try and give up whenever you fail once. And then the other thing is, remember that sometimes you need to fail in life to actually realize that you are not pushing harder, and then just pick up yourself and then try more harder and ask yourself the things you did wrong. Try and write it on a piece of paper, like, what did I do? What did I not do? What was I supposed to do? And then try and change the cycle in whatever you used to do. If it was in a relationship, maybe you were too abusive, or maybe you were that person that really just didn't do the right things. Then try and change that cycle. And then if it's academic wise, maybe you only waited for like last moment, then you have to study. Try and do it in advance before that. Then yeah.
You have heard it from Ndeli, guys. Do not be afraid to change your cycle. So we have come to the end of this video. Do not forget to subscribe if you like it. And one more thing is, did you guys know that we do not fail because things are difficult? Most of the time we tend to fail because we have the fear of failure. I'm going to leave you with that. Please share the video so that the message can get to the people that need to hear it. Thank you, Juso. Thank you, Ndeli, for coming from us in the studio. From TCM, it's bye.
I feel like it's important to fail in life so you know what you don't want. So you actually avoid it. Because what if you just knew how to win all the time? When you're gonna fail, you're actually going to break down. So you have to know how it feels to fail and how it feels to win, so you know that I am obviously going to win and I do not want to fail. So yeah.